Hey, what's going on, everyone? So, I wanted to make a video today talking about why streaming attribution is so important for labels, but also just in general when it comes down to running marketing campaigns and music. It's a gap that has been recognized for years in terms of we run campaigns maybe on Instagram or on TikTok. And how do we understand whether or not these campaigns are really working and are they really providing the assistance or the achievement of the goals and the targets that we have set for the long term of the release's success? So, one of the issues that has always been a part of this problem or this flow is that when you run a campaign, let's say utilizing Meta in this case to Instagram, when you run an ad and you set up an ad, that platform is focused on just getting traffic from the Instagram uh, application, let's say, or the Facebook application to whatever link you want them to get to. And that's the path that is really focused on just being tracked and understood. And based on that, then Meta and Facebook can start recommending your ad more effectively to the right people based on that engagement data. We can use some of that data to understand whether or not a campaign is maybe the creative and the video that's being utilized is really effective in grabbing people's attention, and maybe it's through the click-through rate percentage, and then maybe we can understand how much of that traffic is being converted to real traffic on the streaming platform by integrating with a platform like Linkfire and utilizing pixels and stuff like that, so that we can track the traffic from the smart link page that you create and utilize to the actual streaming platform, and if they hit play. So there's very specific integrations there. But then we're only having one part of the picture. The one part of the picture that we have there is paid traffic. But what we're really trying to achieve, I feel like, especially for most effective marketing campaigns, is that we want to drive enough paid traffic to streaming platforms that will, after a while, train the algorithm to start recommending the music to more fans of similar artists. Or maybe just existing fans and exposing it to them through like the radio functionality or algorithmic playlists and things like that. Because that's what's going to really scale up and also be free in regards to the cost to expose it to more people. And so that is usually the piece that we have not been able to understand before in the past and connect that back to, is the paid traffic that we're paying for actually triggering that outcome, and how efficient are we doing so? And so that was something that we really started to focus on when we developed MAVA, because we were already running campaigns and saying like, we're running this campaign. Sometimes it looks like it's hitting the algorithm and it's kind of getting some support, but it dies off fast. And sometimes it isn't. And why? Or if we're running a campaign and has a really great, maybe cost per click or cost per conversion, is it really driving the outcomes that we're looking for? What is the real, system around that we can actually depend on? Not just saying like it looks right, so we're just going to keep moving forward with it. And I think that's what most companies do today. It's kind of like a gut feeling thing, or somewhat of a little bit of experience. Just be like, it looks about right, so we should just keep doing more of that. We wanted to build a system around it that was backed by data and backed by like the information showing that this thing is working. So what we did is say, let's capture the data that is on the ad platform. Like we're just going back to Meta. Let's capture what does Meta say is happening from Instagram. How does that look? Is that effective? Is that good? Let's also capture what's happening on the smart link page. So let's say, for example, we're utilizing Linkfire. Are we capturing how many of those clicks that hit your Linkfire link that has like all the links for all the different DSPs that people can stream your music on? Is that then being clicked on through to the end platform that you want? Let's say, for example, Spotify. And so after that point, are they also then listening to the music on there? Is that converting to streams? Is that converting to saves? Is it converting to playlist ads? And then after that, is the algorithm of the platform promoting that song essentially for you to other fans or existing fans or similar artists that are within your same bubble? So for us, it's about capturing that entire flow all the way through. And no other platform within music specifically has done that yet, right? If you're looking at someone like Chartmetric is showing you how holistically artists are performing across socials and some of their streaming metrics, but they're not capturing the piece of the marketing spend that's happening, that is really important to understand whether or not what you're doing is actually working. You might see things move up in the chart, you might see streaming numbers move, but you're trying to understand why that is, not just that they're moving, because usually what you're doing as a team is multi-part, multiple things across the board. Let's say that you're looking at even marketing automation tools that might help you set up the campaign, but how do you know whether or not the campaigns that you're running are effective and getting the end results that you're trying to achieve as well? And so what we built out was a system that can capture the end point in terms of how many total streams do we have. If we have a certain amount of total streams, how can we relate that back to maybe how many paid streams that we have? And based on that, we can understand the ratio of how much of our paid streams are maybe helping us drive our algorithmic or organic listenership. And then through that, we can also understand how much is our real cost per stream averaged across the organic boost as well as our paid advertising. And then we can always also do from there is maybe start to track the trends of when the streaming is going up or this thing is really starting to get some support from the algorithm, over what period of time did that happen and what happened during that window, so that we can say maybe these specific type of creatives or certain type of like targeting that we're doing for these ads are what's really driving the most traffic, and we can start to A/B test our different ads that are running at the same time, and then surfacing all of the right information that allows you to make those decisions faster. So really just holistic kind of like covering that from the top to bottom. When we went to build out functionality around this problem that we've seen in the industry for such a long time, it was about understanding the bigger picture of when we have these goals that we're trying to set. We're trying to hit let's say 1,000 streams within the first 2 or 3 days, or we're trying to hit 10,000 streams by the end of the week, or depending on how big the artist is, maybe we're trying to hit 50,000 streams. How do we get there? And if the spend that we're making across a campaign is actually helping us get there, or is being allocated to inefficient campaigns that are not actually moving the needle forward. And then how can we prove that? And I think that's a really big factor, not only in terms of strategy, but also in terms of how you engage with the artist, how you say money's being spent effectively as a label. How can you utilize your budget more effectively, maybe not only for the current artists that you have, but signing new artists. So many different opportunities, so many different lanes there. Um, yeah, this is just a little video I wanted to put together, just kind of walk through that problem and walk through what we're doing here in Maven to make that problem solved and bring it together in a solution that not only helps independent labels but major labels but artists, and opens the door to more effective marketing that actually drives outcomes and is aligned to the way that we work within the music business, not just generalistic marketing. Yeah, so once again, my name is Elijah. Hope to see you guys in the next video, and thanks for watching. Bye.